Well, we're friends with Ashphord, who's in the show, and we're excited to see it. And we're also nerds.
My roommate actually in Queens, New York, knew I was coming to LA, and he told me to check out the events that they do here. And I checked out the events and saw it and just wanted to come. It sounded interesting because it wasn't just like, it's not just subjected to some kind of like niche part of geek culture, but it's specific to like general human stuff. Because it's, the description was describing women, and specifically like black women in geek culture. And I was like, I don't know anything about that, but it sounds like it's applicable to probably a lot of other situations.
I was actually at another nerdy geeky event about a week ago, lead up, and the main girl just invited me. She was like, oh, you want to check it out? We're going to have a lot of things going on, race and comic books and geekiness. And I was like, that's what I'm all about.
So was the subject matter a particular draw to you then?
Yeah. I don't usually get a chance to, talk about race and, geekdom.
I found out the event from Facebook. I know one of the people who were joining the event. Her name's Ashphod Jakeaway, who's a good friend of mine, so I'm supporting her. And also, I love African American cosplayers. So that's why I'm here. To check out great cosplayers and stuff, and find out how they got inspired by doing it.
Oh, I found out through him actually.
Yeah. So how'd you find out?
So I've known Ashford for a while. Actually, I met her here at Meltdown. She was doing some go-go dancing for one of the events. They had the Ninja Turtles creator here, another very nerd, get together. It was a really awesome night. But she's tied in with the anime community and the cosplay communities, which I just got into. So I've seen her around. And so just last week I got to see her, and she was telling me about how she had the show. And since I had already been to this venue, I knew Ashley was cool. I thought it'd be a great chance to come around. I also was hoping to interview Ashley for my blog, because I'm doing an anime blog. So I thought, nerd stuff, on stage, how often does that happen? So I thought it would be a good chance to come out.
Found out about it a few weeks ago, I guess via Facebook. Originally didn't think I was going to be able to go because I have a dance class that goes on like around this certain time. Then my instructor last week said, oh, by the way, class is canceled. I forgot to let you guys know. So I'm like, there's something else I need to do. I just can't put my finger on it. Oh, right, I can come here.
All right, this is an awesome story that I can tell. All right. We go on adventures. We're from San Diego, and tonight they're actually having the Serenity midnight showing, like over there at the Vista. So we're checking out the town, and then we saw the comic book store. We're like, oh, cool, comics. And then we just sort of wandered in. We're like, oh, free show. And then it's like, so yeah, we got like awesome nerdness. Our night sort of unfolded to more nerdiness.
It was a bunch of geekdom in one night.
Yeah.
No, we're walking around and he's like, Aisha, there's something going on in the back room. I'm like, okay, let's go see.
Something's in the back. I found out about this because my roommate was talking to Ashford about moving into the spare room in my apartment. Interestingly enough.
Small world.
She came over and we hung out and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, hey, you should come see my show. And then I was like, yeah, awesome. This is my roommate right here.
Well, actually, I'm from Chinese Pirate Productions in San Diego. I work with GamerCon in San Diego, and we're actually here scouting the show, actually, to see if it might be something that we might host at GamerCon this coming July. So that's kind of what brought us here. We were actually the creative team that did Dr. Horrible sing-along blog in San Diego last July as well. So.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Hi, Key. I didn't even know about the event. I got kidnapped for here. But once I got kidnapped and got here, I was like, okay, so this is going to be pretty much chocolate cover cosplay. And I was like, oh, I know these guys. All right, let's see what they're going to do. And then
we've actually been friends with Ashford for about a year. We met her back at the Guild of Extras and at the filming of season 5, right?
Yeah.
And so I think she was one that invited us to this thing, and it sounded like a really cool thing to see her. Like I heard that she'd perform, but I'd never seen it before, so I really wanted to check it out. Yeah, basically he said we got the invitation through Facebook and invited us to see her perform. and to report on it because we both have kind of pop culture news pages.
The answer to both is I know Ashphord, so that probably is not as exciting as you were hoping.
Wow. Kind of that we're all the same. You know, that everybody's the same. Everybody goes through moments of like insecurity and being ostracized for one reason or another, no matter what it is, race or just a different belief system or just different interests. It could be anything. And I think everybody can relate to that. You know, and so it really, Ashford did a really good job of hitting it home, and they all did. You know, they all did. It was really good.
I think really one thing that I really learned here is that we can all be like one together, and I think the one thing that we can all agree on is that Rush Limbaugh's a dick.
I thought it was like just interesting to hear a take on it because I don't think I had ever before. And it was also just good in general to see like a room full of support for kind of really just anyone that feels like they're not quite in the right place, like they get put out, something like that. So
I think the take-home message is that there's a community out there for everyone, and finding your community and finding the people that love you and support you and accept you, even if it's not quite where you thought it would be in the first place or expected it to be, it's there.
Well, I learned it's okay to be yourself. I mean, I learned that in certain cultures, just because you're a certain way, like if you like anime or you like math, or if you're African American, you have to be a certain way. But that's not entirely the case, because people are people, and just because you like something doesn't mean you have to be outside. Well, in this case, it's okay to be different, but still feel comfortable with yourself. And that's what I took out from it.
I enjoyed the shows. They were great. But in all honesty, nothing I already don't know. Because, we've all felt that. And, some more than others, really. Because, I've never experienced that at my schools. I've had more personal problems instead of, race problems, really. But, yeah, it was a really great show. It was really informative. And it really opened, for people who really don't know about stuff like this, it really opens their eyes.
I think what's great is being in a place where, you can play a video game song or you can reference DuckTales and everyone starts singing the song. I mean, that's this kind of audience, this kind of crowd. And so it was really great that, all the performances were really awesome, really funny, really touching, and as you said, informative. But what I really liked at the end was what we were talking about. We had a dialogue where everyone could share their own personal experience, because while we're sitting in the audience, we're thinking to ourselves, "Oh God, I totally know what she's talking about," and we want to say that out loud to show that we can relate. And so we were given that opportunity, and whether it be based on racial background or where you grew up, what kind of high school you went, how anything, there's that level of being able to relate. And at least on this, we all connect through our nerd interests. So I think it was really cool that we could share that with each other. And I feel this vibe where everyone's just so much closer now. It's a room of strangers where we're all just watching, but now we all were like, oh my God, I totally did that too when I was your age. So it's a much different event than, say, other plays where you go, you watch, it's great, but you don't get to share it with everyone.
And oh my gosh, amazing show, absolutely amazing. Well, I found that Ashford's experience in trying to find a sense of belonging, although being a gamer and I guess just for lack of a better term, just all around just being a geek. That's kind of my story too. I mean, I went through a lot of the same things. Listen to my voice. I don't really sound like the stereotypical black guy, so that's another thing that she has that I kind of have too. So our experiences are very similar. And I guess what I can take away from this whole experience was that I guess we all go through something like that. I mean, it doesn't even have to be about race. It could just be the fact that, hey, I like anime and you guys don't. So, I mean, I don't know. Take that as you will.
Wow. Okay. Well,
That's a deep one, I know.
I wasn't ready to field that question. Well, I guess it sort of brought light to. Well, we're here for the part of the outsiderness, and I think that's something we can all sort of relate to. We are kind of like nerds and stuff like that, but I guess sort of embraced the sort of outsiderness, and with that sort of made a community of it. I guess that's all I got.
Well, I think that I was never really a huge part of the geek nerd community, like growing up in high school. So I think that in my past couple of years, sort of jumping into it, you do get to sort of see that I'm not alone and off in my corner being by myself, that there are other people who are nerdy and geek-tastic like myself. So I think that was cool to sort of see on a larger aspect that I'm not the only one who had to deal with that sort of feeling of being outside.
You have a support group here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're supporting it. High five.
Kind of the same. I once had a massive LAN party with a bunch of my friends, but that was about it. In fact, mostly not my friends. One of my friends, he was like, come to this LAN party, and I was like, yeah. That was pretty much my first like large nerd experience kind of a thing. Other than that, it was mostly kind of Xbox or SNES at home and all that kind of stuff, you know, whatever. And then, so this is pretty cool. It's nice to see a whole bunch of people that are like, you know, kind of outgoing and like all about their business, but still into nerdy things and able to like function and just get all their shit done and still be so passionate about something that's so awesome.
You know, she has a great stage presence. You know, it's a very performance art piece, and that's not exactly what I was expecting. Actually, I didn't even really know what to expect. I actually heard a lot of people had referred her and this show to me, and it's something that to look into. And I think she's got a great stage presence. I think there's a lot of really cool and very raw emotions that are part of the piece, and it's a topic that is not really thought about all that much. You know the various divisions within just geek culture and geek and popular culture itself, and you know, and how race kind of affects that. And that's a really kind of fascinating to see kind of coming to life in this performance.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really cool that it was kind of a subculture inside a subculture. So kind of that side of it. I think the other thing that was really interesting about it was that she seems to be very interested in it being a dialogue as opposed to a monologue. So that's something that's really important to her, that she's really interested in the audience as well, which I think is really cool.
I watched the whole show and I enjoyed it. Well, a lot of the things I kind of already knew, but from what once again, this kind of reintroduced the fact that as nerds, we all stand together. Otherwise, pretty much it's like together we stand or divided we all fall. But nonetheless, it shows that we have a unity as a group of people, even though we all come from different backgrounds, but we all can say we like anime, we love gaming, we love everything in between, just like how we know we love this 8-bit music that's playing on right now.
Well, there's been a lot of, it's almost some resurgence of the black nerd idea that I'm trying to break free from stereotypes and stuff. Then it was really interesting to see a personal account of that, especially from a friend.
I heard a lot of great stories tonight from people who had to go through having to deal with stereotypes and people making assumptions about them, and how trying to, just trying to find common ground, I guess. I don't know. Well, learning, I kind of knew the general about the tribalism and how it is to a degree harder in the black community because you have an additional tribe mentality essentially distinct from the greater, aka white culture.